so. Where did I leave off? I gotta get Caterium being made into AI limiters, and I gotta upgrade those miners anyway, so let's get those done. cyber tube.
That looks like fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like fun.
That's the reason why I go on the tallest water slides to do that purpose. The tallest water slides normally have that.
this would be fun.
But I screamed the whole way down. Time will go, has it. I don't think Canopy like
They have one ride like that, one tube ride.
I know Six Flags has this. That one's like fun. Oh my god. So bad. So fun.
Of this game.
That looks like so much fun.
No, Mama. Don't even like fire sometimes. Please don't. That would be a better thing than this. Wash it up.
With just water though. And speak of which.
Yeah, come here.
backpack?
Yes.
You're beautiful.
Thank you, you are so.
Thanks.
Thanks, baby. I love you too.
How you doing that stuff?
I sorta like you too.
How you doing that stuff?
How you doing that stuff? It's a bull. We should have our own podcast where we cook stuff.
Yeah.
We should.
I love how this all looks.
Me too.
It's clean. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Good.
I gotta finish this. Got to get done. Is that also a resource? There we go. Ooh, what are these? Interesting. Gonna get some more modular frames and some overclocking cores. Nah, we'll grab some plates while we're here too. I can't tell if it's the game lagging or if my mouse keeps glitching. So I'm actually gonna have a little extra here, and basically it's just gonna get fed into this machine. There we go, that should be better. I don't know why that was like that. Hey, I am having trouble keeping machines at... Get them to stay there for a little, but then they eventually fall off. What are you doing right now? Oh. Well, I mean, I can kind of explain it. I'm just making some biomass right now, to be fair, but just so I can get the chainsaw so I can remove some shit, but I'll explain it. So I'm also still kind of fooling around with some of the efficiency concepts, because there's some that I was taught that by RAM that are kind of accurate, but kind of not, like they could have been made better. But in this situation, this can't really be made better. So here's your kind of math real quick. Bear with me. So I'm going to give you the complicated version of it, because this is steel, and steel is where it starts to get more complicated. And then when we get to plastics, it's going to get even worse, because we're going to be combining 4 objects into one. So I'm not going to go over there to show you it, but the node right here with the coal that's coming in, it's coming in at 240. Because it's a pure node, so it's bringing 240 a minute, so I needed a Mark III belt to be able to run it. So I have 240 coal coming in on this belt right now. So to match it, I overclocked both of my irons here, because they're only normals. So I double overclocked both irons to match it at 240 essentially. I am getting super trolled though right now. Like, it's like my registration's not happening. I definitely need to get a mouse pad. You are right. Like, this is getting old.
Paper is just gonna...
No, I know, I just need something to put it on for right now. Give me, grab me a piece of that cardboard, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. For right now. Just because otherwise it's going to keep annoying me. That's going to be annoying too. Do I have a notepad or anything? Like, yeah, just anything, because this is actually, like, not working the way it's supposed to right now for some reason. But anyways, so I don't know if you're still there and you're paying attention, but so the coal comes in at 240 a minute. I can actually break that down into seconds for micro efficiencies. 240 is actually, I think it's like 8 per second, something like that, or 4 per second. So I had to overclock these. So this is 120 from this one and 120 from that iron mine combined to make a total of 240 to match the coal. Now I need a total of 45 and 45, so it's a perfect 1-to-1 ratio of iron and coal to make a steel ingot. Now I have 240 total coming in on the belts. So you really just, here's how you do your efficiencies. Now you just add your math up. So if you do 2 times 45, you have 90. Another 2 times 45, you have 180. You know, 90 is 180. So it's 4 machines for 180. and then 6 machines for 270. So this is where we're falling off on efficiency. So we're pushing out 240 ore, but we're trying to pull 270. So we don't have enough. But I had a choice. I either left it at... Oh, don't even tell me, dude. I hate these trees, man. They're so annoying. Thank you. No, I mean, I was looking for something more stationary, but that's fine. I'll just put it underneath the keyboard, and then it should stay a little better. It's funny how it's Biden's face. Thanks, babe. So yeah, basically, we needed 270 here, but we won't be able to pull 270, so I didn't have to put this machine in, but I knew just based on before because of backup. So this is what I'm talking about with micro efficiency, and like these YouTubers aren't even getting it right because they're not thinking about this concept, but it's just like priming a system. If your belt's already full, and it's continuously getting backed up, then you can easily run another machine off of it because it's not making the parts as fast. It takes 4 seconds to make it, so it doesn't actually need to get one every second. It only needs to get, or I should say the 45. It doesn't have to get 3 every second. It only has to get 3 every 4 seconds. So that's where micro efficiencies come in. So technically, this system could probably run a couple more machines and not have too many issues, but I'm just going to stick to the numbers that are straightforward, so I don't have to get into that yet. I did get mods working, so creative is going, and I can do it in there, and it's kind of fun to fool around with. But anyways, so this is going to be undershooting. This machine might not always produce exactly what it's supposed to produce, but the 5 machines will produce. So that's what it means by efficiencies. You have 240 input, and then you just have to look into your machines and figure out what you need. This isn't a good example because these are 45 and 45, but when you go to like a machine that's a copper-based machine, I think these machines up here are copper. Yeah, so these are a good example. Leo, are you still there? Or I don't even know if you're still there. So when the machines are maxed output and there's still leftovers, just have a machine running at like 50 or 70. Yeah, exactly, running at 50 or 75%. You can actually set the machine to 50 or 75% too. I don't. I just leave it because it doesn't matter really. It's only going to run at the pace it can run. But that's what I'm trying to say. Ram and a lot of other people, and like, especially a lot of these like big time YouTubers, are seeming to think that that's the efficient. The max efficiency that they can pull is whatever these numbers are saying, but that's just not true. Mom's calling, so I can answer this, but that's just not true. The max efficiency isn't based on just what's coming in and what's coming out. It's also based on how much it needs in a certain period of time. So there's more that goes into this. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. She's coming to pick me up in a minute. So yeah, it's really straightforward. And like I said, I was even getting into the micro efficiencies. I took his system. I took 2 of his systems and actually made them better. So he was having me run 24 coal factories off of 2 belts, and I did it with 1 belt. And he was having me run it off of 6 water extractors, and I did it off of 5 water extractors. And I'm thinking I could do it off of even less. I don't want to push the boundaries on playthroughs I'm playing on. I now have that creative save that I can push boundaries on, kind of thing. So, and like I said, it's more relevant when it comes to copper and things like that. So like if you're still there and you're still paying attention, I got about 10 more minutes of playtime. This is pretty efficient. I'm doing really good, like really good on this playthrough. So this is where the micro efficiencies really come into play. So you have 1 miner. Putting out about 120 right now, not being overclocked. And that now needs to be split up into 4 of these, right? Because each of these can only smelt 30 per minute. And again, you could actually probably push this into 5. So you see how you have a backup on your loop? You could probably get these into 5 and not have a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what's crazy about this, is like, people keep thinking that it's going to make a huge difference, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. And that's why I'm saying the micro efficiencies that people are putting out on these. Leo, we have really good content on this game, trust me, just because we can do math. And it seems like a lot of other people can't do math. Or can, but they're just forgetting that there's other variables that are applied, I guess. And, wow, this is a big-ass piece of paper for me to use with NewWorks. But basically, this is when the real micro efficiencies come into play, is when you have to break it up for multiple different types of parts. So, actually, this is all making cable, isn't it? Yeah, this is all making cable. But if this, let's say this was making cable that takes, you know, 30 parts per minute, or needs 15 parts per minute, and then we had another machine that was making So we have 120 coming in, right? And that needs... Oh my god, no, the paper's not working either. I need a fucking mouse pad. Like, this is getting annoying, dude. This is genuinely annoying. Like, it shouldn't be having this much fucking trouble. But basically, if this is getting 15 per minute, and I got 120 coming in behind me, that means I could run, you know, I don't know, what's 2 times is 30, 4 is 60, and then 8. So I could run 8 machines basically off of that one miner for just making copper wire. But where it starts to get more complicated is when you throw something in like this that needs 20 per minute. This is going to fuck my belt up. But when you get 20 per minute kind of concept. Let me change that back before it actually makes the copper wire. But I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully that didn't actually get put on the belt, because that could be a problem. Because this is getting shuffled into an actual product that did get put on the belt, so I'm just going to try to catch it. But yeah, so basically, that's when it gets more complicated. What the hell did you just say? Oop. Alright, there we go, I got it. Let me tab. That's the resource that fucked my ass. Fucked my ass. Hello. But yeah, fucking. But yeah, it's copper. And I get it, because it's a harder system to do. Where it really gets tricky, man, Leo, look at this, dude. I definitely want to get this machine done before Mom comes, but it's okay, because I already have steel production going over there, so it's not like the end of the world. I'm getting really pissed off by that. It's like dragging. Like, my mouse is literally dragging. Like, it's not registering the fucking... the movements. Like, this is actually pissing me off right now, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's super annoying. But basically, where it gets more complicated is like the iron setups and stuff like that, because you're doing screws, you're doing rods, you're doing, you know, rotors and stators and all kinds of other stuff, and we're not even at plastics and stuff yet. That's what's kind of crazy. I'm just like straight up fucking lagging, dude. Like, someone's spiking my internet right now. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, everything's just not right. Going up this way. So yeah, these are all microsystems. Like, I got these making AR limiters. I needed 25 sheets. I'm making 30, so it's got 5 left over. This is not micro efficient because this is pumping out way more quick wire than that. But I don't have the copper sheets to keep up with it, so I don't really care. Yeah, it will help a lot, and that's really all the game's based off of. Same thing with your wattage too. It's the same stuff with like any water intakes or anything like that. Like, all of this is super complex. Like, all of this is just to make some frames, you know, some plates, some rotors, all at an efficient pace. You know, so I got the screws being split like a dozen times. It's just, this is very packed. Like I said, I made his system a little bit more efficient. I turned his coal system into a better coal system. It's still the same idea, it's just he was overdoing it. He was using a whole extra 140 watts for no reason, and adding a whole extra 140 that he didn't need. Now, I will say though, with my theory, my power system does dip sometimes, and it's because of the way the belts work. It front loads. So once I get not smart splitters but programmable splitters, and I can actually decide exactly how much goes into each of my coal factories, or coal generators, then my idea will work perfect. And you really don't need much more than 120 a minute to 240 a minute to run like 24 of these. Right now I did have to buff it up to 240 a minute just to keep these all running, which sucks, to be fair, but if I prime the machine it will actually last a little bit longer. It is going to be fun. I also can see us getting burnt out though too, because I did drive around on the map. Like, I'll jump on and do creative in a second. I just wanted to show you what I was doing over here. This is my single player, so I don't play the other one unless you're on, and then I'll play it. But see, so all of this is running off of what he wanted me to run off of one, and it's just a better system. Like, the system I came up with is just hands down better. So I like it. But again, it doesn't run at maximum efficiency unless I keep the belt like loaded, you know. But and I do actually think I have 2 working into it right now. Instead of overclocking the machine, I did run 2 into it, but it will run off of 1. I'm just having issues with it at the moment, and it's due to the fact that I don't have those programmable splitters. So these front machines will get stacked up to 100, 100, 100, 100, but then these last like 4 machines get starved because the first machines are taking priority. So, but they don't need it. They're just so they have like a reserve on them. So they have 100 coal reserve in the fuel tank, just like a biofuel thing would. But the problem is that the 100, like I said, it prioritizes the front machines for the 100 instead of giving the back machines even the little bit of fuel that it needs. So the back machine might just need 1 or 2 fuel to keep itself going, but it won't get it because the front machine wants to keep its reserves at 100. It doesn't need the 100. It's only going to burn 1, but it will keep it in reserve anyways. Is 100 F worth it? What is 100 F worth it? Like 100 efficiency? And then I'll show you this too. Efficiency. In some situations, yes. In some situations, no. So as the game goes on, you're going to be able to get more efficient. I would say with these smaller systems, the iron-based systems for your screws and your plates and your copper wire, all of those earlier game systems, I would make sure those are at 100% efficiency because it's only going to trickle effect later. So if right now if you're doing an inefficient system in the beginning, then it's going to affect your efficiency later. But at least if you make your simpler systems really efficient in the very beginning of the game, which are easier to stay efficient with because they work around 12 and 30 and 60s, like 15s, like they all work around the 30, 60, 90 mark to 120 mark, so you can easily make them efficient. I would try to keep your early game systems, like your early iron and copper systems, as efficient as possible. And then as you trickle down, they're going to get less and less efficient unless you're really good at math. It's not that you can't be really good at math and get them really efficiently, it's just a little bit harder. So this is actually my steel factory, but it's actually not just steel anymore. I have this making like all kinds of stuff. Steel pipes, rotors, I don't know what those are. Yeah, it's just all kinds of different things being made. I think I have stators somewhere in here too, more steel pipes. Maybe those are the stators, or this is the stators, I don't remember. They're in here somewhere. Oh, those are the stators right here. So I got stators being made. I don't really use the onboard calculators. I don't know how to pull it up either. I used the one that he gave us, the Satisfactory calculator, but I still don't even really use that because it's just basic math, Leo. Like, this stuff isn't too hard to figure out. It's when we get to the nuclear stuff that's when it's gonna start getting super complicated and super difficult. And also I went to the map earlier, and actually I'll show you that real quick. I'm just gonna send my character back, and then Mom's coming anyway, so I can hop off. But I'm gonna jump into the map real quick and show you kind of some things that I was looking at earlier. And like, although I thought the map was super big earlier, it's really not that big. Like, he was making a big deal out of the desert being huge and the resources not being close, but that's not true. Actually, I think they're right up each other's ass, and they're all pure nodes. So like, it's just more resources, easier to access. Mom's calling. Downstairs. Alright, bye. Alright, so I do gotta go, but I want to show you something real quick. So before I dip, just stick around for 2 more seconds. I'll show you. Let me drag and drop over. So you should still see my screen, right? And you should see a map now. And this is the Satisfactory calculator thing. And basically this is where I drove to on the creative save that I did over here, and it's just a really nice area. There is so many resources in that area that are pure. As you can see, these are all pure nodes. And where we built, which is way down here, I mean like way down here, like this is where our beach base is, our little beach factory base, our other base, and our other base. This is where us and Gia are right now. this is the area that we're encompassing. This is where our coal is right now, our factory. And yeah, it's just the map is not as big as I thought. I got from here to here in like 5 minutes once I figured out the route. And it's just, I would just keep these things in mind. I would pull this map up and fool around with it for a little bit. I want to put our limestone factory over here just because of all the limestone that's over there. It just makes sense. And then I'm thinking more anything iron and steel based up here because we have so much copper and coal up here. And iron. But yeah, so anyways, I have big plans for our world too. I just don't want to play without you. But alright, I'm gonna end stream and head up. I'll catch you later, man.